If you're on the hunt for a local style guide to Brussels with all the best places to check out, you're in the right place. Sure, Brussels is the capital of Belgium, but it's also the capital of comic books, crispy fries, fluffy waffles, world-class beer, and of course, mouth-watering chocolate. In this video, we're taking a laid-back stroll through the heart of the city, soaking up the sights, the culture, and a few hidden gems along the way. And stick around till the end, because I'll reveal a must-visit spot to satisfy your chocolate cravings. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Kicking things off at number 7, we've got the breathtaking Grand Place, right in the heart of Brussels. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is a showstopper that continues to wow travellers from around the world. It's not just a pretty square either. Grand Place is where the city truly comes alive. From concerts and fairs to Christmas festivities, epic flower carpets in the summer, and even celebrations for local sports heroes, it's the go-to spot for all things fun. As you look around, you'll notice that there are stunning buildings surrounding the square, but 2 of them really steal the spotlight. Sitting on the southeast side of the square, Hôtel de Ville, or the Town Hall, is a Gothic masterpiece from the 15th century, complete with a soaring 96-metre tower, topped by a statue of the Archangel Michael. Step inside, and you'll find ceilings dripping with chandeliers. And if you want to check it out up close, you can take a guided tour on Tuesday and Wednesday afternoons, with English tours starting at 3:15 p.m. Then there's Maison du Roi, or the King's House. Don't let the name fool you. No king ever lived there, but it was owned by Charles V, ruler of both the Spanish and Holy Roman Empires. These days it houses the Museum of the City of Brussels, home to 16th century paintings, tapestries, and even an entire wardrobe for the mannequin Pis statue, which I'll talk more about later on. Oh, and just off the square, don't miss the statue of Everard de Cerclace. Legend says if you rub his arm, it brings good luck. Will you try it when you visit? Up next at number 6, we've got the stunning Galeries Royales Saint-Hubert. This jaw-dropping covered arcade opened way back in 1847, and it's been turning heads ever since. Stretching around 200 metres and topped with a giant glass dome, the gallery is packed with luxury shops, cosy cafes, restaurants, and even apartments. From the very beginning, it became the place to see and be seen. Picture 19th century fashionistas strolling through in their finest, because that's exactly what happened. But it wasn't just about shopping. This was a cultural hotspot too. Inside, you'll find spaces like the Théâtre du Vaudeville, the Cinéma des Galeries, and the Taverne du Passage, once known as the Café des Arts. Back in the day, this was the go-to hangout for painters, writers, and even political exiles. Big names like Victor Hugo, Alexandre Dumas, and Edgar Quinet all spent time here. And later on, surrealist painters and artists from the Cobra Group kept the creative energy alive. Today, the Galeries Royales Saint-Hubert is the perfect spot to window shop, soak up the charm, or sip a drink while people watching in one of its elegant cafes. So tell me, would you stop here for a fancy coffee break, or dive straight into the boutiques? At number 5, we're heading to Mont des Arts, or Mount of the Arts, a hill that not only boasts one of the best views in Brussels, but also packs in some serious culture. The complex includes some major institutions like the Royal Library, the Congress Palace, and the National Archives of Belgium. Then the surrounding park, designed by René Pecher, is perfect for a peaceful stroll or a quick photo op. While walking around, you might come across the equestrian statue of King Albert, the first built in 1951. It's a landmark you can't miss. Now let's talk about that view. From this elevated vantage point, you'll get a postcard-worthy look over the city with the iconic Town Hall Tower of Grand Place in full display. On a clear day, you can even spot the Sacred Heart Basilica and the Atomium in the distance. And here's a little fun fact. Mont des Arts has become a bit of a hotspot for music lovers, especially fans of punk, hard rock, and alternative scenes. You'll often see groups hanging out, jamming, or just vibing in the square. If you're lucky, you might even catch a street performer serenading the crowd. Up next at number 4, we've got a truly unique stop, Mini Europe. Located on the outskirts of Brussels, right near the iconic Atomium, this quirky attraction is exactly what it sounds like, a miniature version of Europe. This open-air park features 350 scale models of some of the most famous landmarks across the European Union, all at a 1:25 scale. So yes, you can literally walk from London to Rome to Paris in under an hour. Pretty cool, right? As you stroll through the grounds, you'll hear Big Ben chime, spot gondolas gliding through Venice, and stand face to face with a pint-sized Arc de Triomphe. And these aren't just quick models thrown together. Some are impressively detailed. The Town Hall of Brussels, for example, includes nearly 300 hand-sculpted statues, and the Santiago de Compostela Cathedral took a whopping 24,000 hours to complete. So, if you ask me, Mini Europe is a great place to explore, especially if you're short on time but want a quick tour of Europe. And it's an absolute win if you're travelling with kids. The ticket is around €20, and it's totally worth it for the fun, the photo ops, and the novelty of seeing 80 cities in one afternoon. But if that's not quirky enough for you, wait until you hear about number 3 on our list, the trio of peeing statues known as Manneken Pis, Janneke Pis, and Zinneke Pis. These offbeat monuments are a playful nod to Belgian humour and are among the most unique attractions in Brussels. The star of the show? Manneken Pis, which literally translates to little peeing man. This tiny bronze statue of a boy doing his business into a fountain has been amusing visitors since 1619. You'll find him right in the city centre, often dressed up in quirky outfits throughout the year. Next up is Janneke Pis, the female counterpart. Installed in 1987, she's squatting and peeing just like Manneken, tucked away in the charming Fidelity Alley. And right across from it is the iconic Delirium Cafe. Fun fact, Delirium once held the Guinness World Record for the most beers offered. Specifically, in 2004, they had 2,004 different beers on their menu. And finally, we've got Zinneke Pis, the peeing dog. This bronze pup was added in 1998 and doesn't actually function as a fountain, but it's just as cheeky. Meant to represent Brussels' multicultural and mixed identity, Zinneke's midstream stance is frozen in time at the corner of Rue des Chartreux and Rue du Vieux Marché aux Grands. Quirky? Absolutely, but also pretty iconic. So, when you think of Brussels, chocolate and beer probably come to mind, but there's a whole other side to the city that's just as sweet. Coming in at number 2 is the comic book wall. That's right, Brussels is basically an open-air public museum for comic lovers, and there's even a mapped-out walking route you can follow. The full trail is about 5 kilometres long, takes around 3 hours on foot, and includes roughly 19 murals. Of course, you can take your time, stop to admire the art, grab a bite, or snap a few photos along the way. The route kicks off near the Manneken Pis statue and brings you face to face with Belgium's most famous comic book hero, Tintin. Created by Georges Prosper Remy, aka Hergé, Tintin makes his mural appearance on Rue de la Tuve. And if you grew up loving the Smurfs, you're in luck. The route also leads to Carrefour de l'Europe, where you'll spot the tiny blue legends frolicking among iconic Brussels landmarks and cultural festivities. Keep an eye out for clever little nods to the Atomium, the Flower Carpet, the Mayboom, and the Ommegang, all hidden in the mural's details. For something more modern and meaningful, the trail features a mural dedicated to the LGBT+ community, created by German cartoonist Ralph Koenig. It's actually the only one of its kind in all of Europe. A must-see for anyone interested in socially conscious art. And the best part? You can download the entire route on Google Maps to make sure you don't miss a single masterpiece. Now, before we unveil the top spot, here's a special shout out to the best place to buy chocolate in the city. Brussels is basically the capital of this decadent dessert, so skipping out on the good stuff is not an option. If you're looking for the real deal, head over to Neuhaus in Galeries de la Reine. This legendary chocolatier is credited with inventing the praline and boasts over 150 years of history and chocolate-making expertise. If you're new to pralines, they're classic Belgian chocolates with a hard outer shell and a soft melt-in-your-mouth filling. The original recipes, like Bonbon 13 and Astrid, are timeless, but don't miss out on the more adventurous flavours like Caprices and Temptations. Once you've satisfied your sweet tooth, you'll be more than ready to keep exploring what Brussels has to offer. Which leads us to our number 1 spot, Rue du Bailli. This chic Brussels neighbourhood is a treasure trove of Art Nouveau architecture. Think flowing asymmetrical lines and shapes inspired by nature, giving the whole area a unique, almost magical vibe. But it's not just about the stunning buildings. Rue du Bailli is packed with trendy boutiques, gourmet eateries, and picture-perfect spots that make it an absolute joy to explore. If you're up for an artsy stroll, start at the Church of the Holy Trinity on Parvis de la Trinité. From there, head to the Horta Museum on Rue Américaine, a must-see for Art Nouveau lovers. Feeling like mixing it up with some modern art? Check out Rue Van Eyck, Rue de la Baie, and Rue Saint-Georges. These streets are lined with contemporary art galleries. Brussels is a city full of surprises, from historic squares and quirky statues to stunning art and mouth-watering chocolates. So, tell me, would you rather dive into Brussels' rich history or explore its vibrant modern art scene? Drop your choice in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, you'll love this next one.